Hey guys, I'm out in the sun and it's the new year. The Gregorian calendar that we live life off of is a complete lie. The real calendar that we're supposed to be living off of is 13 months and it's a 28-day month to month. So this is the new year. Welcome. I hope you all are feeling the good vibes from it. I know I have been feeling crazy eclipse energy as of late, but because of this, I want to do a quick little reading for you guys, and it's a crazy time. So what does the collective need to be aware of as of right now? What does the collective need to know for this new year? This new year in spring, because, I think these two flipped out. So we have the joyful. I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. This is literally on point, okay? With this Aries eclipse, it is a time of stepping in to all of our divine potential and understanding why it is that we came to this earth, okay? We are aligning with our soul's purpose, and this is perfect because ultimately we are just meant to do things that are aligned with our soul that make us happy. And that truly is the whole meaning of life, is to do things that make us happy. The second card I got was the desirable. I accept my desires as a pure expression of my essential self. This is such an amazing card, and I love it because there's a beautiful woman and she's holding flowers, and there's like this man who she's reaching out to. Also, this is the joyful. I love this. She's just dancing and there's a bird flying. See, this is a beautiful message, the desirable. And I think that this is so important because with Aries season and it being very like, you need to get on top of your stuff and chase your dreams and make things happen, it can be intimidating because oftentimes I feel like, but I still feel like I want to do so many different things, and I feel overwhelmed. I feel like maybe there's some unhealthy habits that I need to cut off. But it's tricky because we all naturally feel so drawn to so many different things. We have so many different desires, and some of those desires are not good. Like maybe you really, really, really desire to, hang around certain people, and you're kind of trying to understand and balance yourself with other. You really enjoy seeing your friends and loved ones, but you need to focus and get serious about your goals and passions with this new Aries eclipse. But I think that with the desirable, it's just remembering that, listen, you have these desires for a reason. You should not shame yourself, okay, for the things that light you up inside and that make you feel good. It's not a bad thing if you want to go do them, okay? Like, this is your sign that it is your literal purpose, aside from your career and all that busy, strict stuff, is just to have fun, okay? Sometimes we lose track of that meaning in the midst of the busyness of life, and capitalism is to blame. But the joyful is just your clarification that right now really be doing things that feed your soul with joy, because ultimately that will lead you to your highest path towards what you're meant to do in life. And that should help you with your career and more serious things, because ultimately you should be feeding joy into your career path and everything, because otherwise what's the point of doing it? Okay, let's keep going. What else does the collective, here we go. All right. Ooh, I love all these feminine signs. We're in a Venus retrograde right now, so I'm not surprised that there's a lot of Venus energy. This is called, oh my God, train confirmation. So this card is called the Confident. I honor all I have done to make me who I am today. Wow. This card just flipped over with the wind. I'm going to include it. Now she's more serious, but she says, this is the Worrier, number 18. I can handle whatever life brings me. This is perfect. This is I like this. I like how this comes with confident, because first out came confidence, but then came Worrier. So I think sometimes when we step into our confidence, it can be scary because it might be a new energy for us. It might not be in our comfort zone to be confident because we might be literally worrying that bad things will happen. Oftentimes that's why, choosing to be, I'm gonna reposition my camera. Sometimes that's why choosing to be confident can be so scary, and choosing to be happy can be so scary, because our nervous systems are just not used to it. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't embrace being confident and being happy and choosing joy over fear. It just means that we're not used to it. There's a little boy in the middle of the field right now, and he's like yelling, and maybe that's a metaphor for how some of y'all are feeling. Like, you're just in the middle of the world, you're speaking, you're yelling out to the universe, and maybe you're worried and stressed with life, and you feel like nobody is hearing you and nobody is there. But this is your confirmation that you are being watched by your spirit guides at all times, and they're always there for you, and your higher self is always there for you. And never forget that the version of you where you are right now, your future self has already dealt with all the situations that you're in right now, okay? And sometimes it's confusing with all the worry that we feel, and we don't know what step or what step to take next, or what places to go next, I guess, if that makes sense. But just because we don't know what they are right now does not mean that they have not been done in another lifetime, in another week ahead of us. You get what I'm saying? Like, in quantum physics speak, in language, in quantum physics language, your future self has already accomplished everything that it is that you want to do. You have these desires for a reason. This honestly lines up perfectly. Okay, so the joy you feel leads to your desires. Your desires and your joy are connected. And this is literally talking about embrace your desires, and see them as a pure expression of your essential self. They are not a bad things. Nope, they're not a bad thing. You don't have to push away your desires because you think that they're bad. If they bring you joy, it's a good thing, okay? And be confident in yourself to enjoy your desires, even if there's worry. Choose confidence over worry. And the more that you practice confidence, the less worry will come up. Sometimes it's about being confident when there's no signs, when there's no one there to help you. You just have to keep having faith. What else does the collective need to know? The Lovers, oh my gosh. Number 7. Look at this card. I love how old-timey these look. So this says, I attract love, abundance, success, happiness, and fulfillment. Exactly. This is such a beautiful message, you guys. I love this message. Sorry, I had to look at somebody. This message is so beautiful. I mean, that's pretty spot on. I would say with this new eclipse energy guiding us, leading us into the new year, this is just absolutely beautiful. I like this. I like the colors of this, so I'm going to read it. The Experimenter 23. Affirmation. I am strong and secure enough to experiment as I see fit. Exactly. This brings the joyful and the desirable together. Because the experimenter is literally like, I have these desires, I have this joy, I'm going to experiment with it. And you might have worry around that. You might feel worried around experimenting and having fun and just playing around a little bit. But it's remembering that when you were a child, you were not scared to experiment. You just did it. You didn't think about it, you just did it. If you felt excited, if you felt like, ooh, I want to do this, ooh, I want to do that, you did it, okay? You didn't have all that judgment, all of that like labeling that we all put on ourselves these days. You know, if you want to paint something and you messed up when you were a kid, it doesn't matter. You would just try again, or you would add to it, or you would make that messy little splurge of paint into another creature that means something new and beautiful. But these days we are like, oh my god, that looks terrible, I'm just gonna put it away and never paint again, I'm a terrible artist. And we add all these unnecessary labels to our temporary mistakes. Let's see what else. Woo! Girl, the Tamer. I believe my cause to be just without anger at those who disagree. The Tamer. I love this because the fairy person is like touching a swan. And swans are actually really deadly. They're really aggressive and they can kill people. You might even feel like experimenting and learning to trust in yourself feels so deadly, like somebody is always going to be around the corner like a swan attacking you. That might be how it feels to try new things and to fully be confident in yourself. Like, you literally might die. Our brains are literally wired to make us think that we're gonna like die if we have new things happen or experiment with change. But the tamer, it's interesting. I believe my cause to be just, without anger at those who disagree. I like this. This is really giving an energy of I'm experimenting with life, I'm following my joy, I'm embracing my desires. If you disagree with that, that's fine. It's not your path to do what I am doing. And if it doesn't light you up inside, then so be it. But I'm going to pursue it because that's what makes me happy. And just because you disagree doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and bow down to your low level and argue and prove to you why my desires are just, because they just are. I feel drawn to certain things just because I am. And that's on period. And one more message for the collective. Anything else this collective needs to know for the new year? I feel like I got a lot of great cards that really make a lot of sense. Anything for 2025? Overall theme of 2025? Okay, because nothing's coming out, I'm going to choose the bottom and the top. Bottom. Ooh, interesting. I'm not going to read it yet. Here's how it looks. Ooh, I like this. The contortionist, number 50. I resist those who would have me bend to their will. I love this. This is exactly what I was just talking about. I'm gonna make a thumbnail. This is perfect because, yeah, exactly. And this Aries eclipse is verbatim just stepping into who you are and doing what you want because you want to do it. That's literally what I just said about the tamer. It doesn't matter who disagrees with you. It doesn't matter who has views or judges you. They're not you. You feel drawn to your desires for such a divine reason. And it's so easy to forget that in a world that is so choosy and judgy and labely. And, you know, it's so anti-inner child. It's so anti- like experimenting for fun, and you can be confident in experimenting. You know, it's like when you grew up and you were taught like, oh, if you drop something, like, don't start sobbing and making a scene, just smile and pick it up and move on. It doesn't have to be a big deal if you mess up. So what if you mess up? Have fun. But if people are going to judge you and make you feel bad for not getting it perfectly the first time you try something new and then they laugh at you, the real reason is because they're too scared to try in the first place, first of all. So they're shaming anyone who has the confidence to experiment and try things, especially when it stems from a place of desire and joy. Sometimes it doesn't make sense why we feel drawn to things. We just do because on a subconscious level, it's aligned with our soul's higher path, even if it makes no sense to us at the time. You know, when we're kids, we know what we want to do with our lives most often. Like, we are in such a fun, playful, non-judgmental, experimental state that we just feel called to things that we are most aligned with because we're so not programmed as children. And so, yeah, don't contour yourself to other people just because they disagree or they don't like what you're doing. It doesn't matter. And it's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you make mistakes. Like, you know, you exist for you, not other people. So don't try and contort yourself and lie to your soul about what it is that you really want to do because you're fearing possibly people, you know, perceiving you or judging you. Just fucking do it. Sorry for cussing, YouTube. It's for educational purposes, okay? The judge. I swear, if this is exactly what I talked about, I am relentless in my pursuit of honesty and justice. This is literally what I'm talking about. It literally says the judge. This is like giving me this card. He's so dominant and so like strong in himself, which makes me think of like the ram energy, which is Aries. I like it. It's like I am relentless in pursuing who I am. And I am so interested and curious in my raw evolution of a human. As a human, you know? I'm going to have fun in the process that is me and unraveling everything that entails being me. in the human experience and dipping my toes in different pools and seeing what happens and not being afraid to mess up and knowing I probably will mess up a few times. But then again, what does messing up even mean? Because my best or my worst is somebody else's best and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always judge ourselves. We always think that, you know, what I'm doing is not good enough. But to somebody else, it's like they are looking up to you and they're so inspired. It's not to compare and be egoic, but it's to be inspired and fall in love with the fact that we're all inspired by each other. And when you try and do things that other people are scared to do, it's like you kind of give them permission in a way because they see you doing it, especially if you're not perfect at it. And then they have the courage to try. So it's this beautiful cycle of like never ending just trying. And it's beautiful. And the more that we step into the more that we listen to those quiet urges, those divine callings to do what is aligned with our soul, the more beautiful our lives will flourish. You know? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this message. I love you guys so much. I hope that my passion wasn't too much. And I'll see you guys next time. You got this. Bye.